What up there again, my fellow tubers? This is a continuation from the last video that was done in the early hours of the morning. So aren't you lucky? 2 videos in quick succession. Right, now, guess what? It's disclaimer time again. Now, as always, don't be trying anything that you're about to see on anything that's not yours. Otherwise, you're probably going to end up in jail for it. And as always, if you brick your machine or you cause damage, crying to me is probably not going to be the best. And if you start thermonuclear war, as always, or you really foul things up, I'm probably just going to grab the popcorn and laugh at you. No, I'm joking, but yeah, I probably still would laugh, but mind you, if you run into trouble, as long as it's legit, I'll probably help you out. Now, what you're about to see is shocking, and you're going to get to see the exploit in action. Get it? Dad joke. Hack. Like action, but action. Get it? Oh, crap. Anyway, what you're about to see as well in action is another reason why I don't prefer to be using Windows 10. Well, I don't usually use Windows anyway, unless I absolutely have to. And it's because of, well, these reasons. So this is the second way on how to bypass passwords. And I have done something here for you on a board. Alright, so we'll have a look at that as well. And yeah, I might have to sort of move it about periodically, but I'm sure it will be fine. I don't have a marker or anything to point with, do I? But we'll go over the basics of this first, and then we'll move on to demonstration for you. So this is obviously for the Windows 10, where it's exploited, but this one is our executables, and I did say we were going to key this by hand. This is what I mean. Right, I'll explain basically what's going on. There are 2 executables, right, that pertain to 2 programs within Windows. And the strange thing is, this was known about, I do believe, something very similar to it in Windows XP. But I know this worked on Windows Server, Enterprise Edition, well, Home and Enterprise. It worked on Windows 7, I do believe on Windows 8 as well. And what's shocking is, this on unpatched versions of Windows 10 also works. So, CMD, right, that's in relation to your command line shell command prompt. And utilman is another executable. This is in relation to your utilities manager. Specifically for ease of access, and specifically more your narrator, or narrator, whichever. Now, the location of these files is important because we're going to rename them, and we'll go over what this briefly does. For CMD, you'll notice I've put x:\\. Well, X is your hard drive letter. Now, because if you dual boot or you have multiple operating systems or multiple system files, you'd either have a C drive, D drive, or F drive, whichever, but it's where your Windows system files are. And this is why I say be careful, because if you get it wrong, you'll probably brick your machine or do something really bad. This is why keying it by hand is an issue. But anyway, let's work with our C drive, because what we're working on is all on C drive. So in this case, we can get rid of the X, and we'll just change that to a C, and we'll do the same thing there as well. Okay, so now what we have is C colon Windows, because it's obviously in the Windows operating system. It's in system files, so it's C colon backslash Windows backslash system. Then you're looking for system 32. Right. So that's where all your most of your main system commands will be, and a lot of the stuff that is executable and runnable within the Windows system is within system 32. Then of course you've got your CMD, which is your command executables, the CMD-exe. Now with utilman, utilman.exe, it's essentially in the same location, just the end part is named differently. So it's still within Windows system 32, right? Or wherever your drive letter is. Happy with that? Or sham. Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to rename these. Now, it's very specific that you have to get this in order. Alright. You actually need to rename utilman first, and I'll explain why. Because utilman.exe is going to become utilman1.exe. Then your renaming command, the cmd.exe, to utilman. If you try to change the cmd first, it will conflict with the already existing name. So it won't do it. Right? You'll end up with, quite possibly, something that may look like, if we tried it, it would be utilman in brackets 1.exe, and then you would end up with problems with that. So you don't want that. So you rename the utilman first, change that to utilman1.exe, something that you're going to remember. The CMD has to be changed to utilman.exe. Has to be. So basically what's going to happen is this. You run your executable, the computer will recognize that has been hit, and it will initiate the program. The program starts, and then the system runs that program. So that's basically what happens there. Right? And then finally, when running utilman, the path name to the program has changed and will run a command shell instead. I'll explain what that does in a minute. Utilman will still work, it's only the file path name that's changed. But it will still work, because it's all pointed still to the actual program. The executable is not the actual program. That's different. CMD still works, but it's renamed as utilman. This may cause system instability if it's not changed back. Alright. The other problem is, if you don't change it, anytime you need to open up a command shell, it becomes a problem, because you'd have to open it under utilman.exe. Not funny. So, like I said, if you were trying this on someone else's system and an admin found out, they would know what you've done. And they will come along and slap your bottom for you. And as said, you have to rename utilman first, otherwise this will not work. And as said, utilman becomes utilman1. Then you rename the CMD to utilman. Now I did say about this earlier on, where it will run a command shell when you run utilman. Basically what will happen is when you log on, you have your, get rid of that, you have your log on screen and your username will be here, and then you end up with a box there. Alright, you put your password in here and then you have to hit that OK button. Well, what you have down in the bottom right hand corner, in the middle, well, you've got the power off. I can't remember what this one is. I think that might be for networks. I'm pretty sure that's your Wi-Fi. The one on the far right hand side is your power. And the middle one here, that is your utilities manager for your narrator. So when you click that, you have all your hard of hearing stuff and speech back. Well, this is the idea. When we click that, the second box will open up here instead. That will be our CMD terminal, and then that will allow us to essentially, unbelievably, act as administrator, where we can then do net users and basically get ourselves in. It's unbelievable how it works. It's shocking that this is even possible in Windows 10. Even if it's patched, even if they've patched this now, shocking that it was able to be done in the first place. I don't think it is patched, but I don't know. Right, but this, as we said, is method number 2 on how we can break into a system. And again, should only be used with caution and legality in mind. So that's that. That's basically the sort of classwork stuff of it done. Now we're going to take a pause and then we're going to jump over and have a look at it in action. So stay ready for that. It's going to be a good one. I think you'll like it. So we'll just jump to that now. Okay, so you're here now and we have a second machine here. Now, what we need to do first of all is we need to create an insecure, or rather a conflict within our boot environment. So basically we need to trick the machine into thinking there's a problem, and you'll see why. So what I'm going to do is start by turning the computer on, and then when this begins to load I'm going to turn it off. It should work. And I'm going to do this a couple of times. It should only need to be done once, but just to make sure. Oh no, it's done it once. Right, this is where things get interesting. Because this definitely shouldn't be able to be done. And like we said, there's nothing else in the system, only a mouse and keyboard. So there's definitely nothing else going on. I'll show you that in a bit. So let's just get this back into your frame of view. It's in your field of view. That box that you saw, that's interesting. This tells you that the hack will work. Unbelievably, that CMD, that would allow administrator access even though we've not even put a password in yet. That's shocking. Right, now what you see is this whole automatic repair thing. Let's try and get this up a little bit more so you can see it. Right, we're going to hit where it says advanced options and click it. Right. Now we're going to go down to where it says troubleshoot and hit advanced options. Now, unbelievably, This is where it's completely stupid. Microsoft, in their absolute genius of Galaxy Mind, allowed you to do this, where it says System Image Recovery. Unbelievable. Well, we're going to completely trick the system. Shockingness. Right. Windows cannot find a system image on this computer. Well, this is where you're going to probably laugh. So get ready for this one. You might want to get yourself some face protecting oven gloves and move your screen out of punching range, because yeah, it's ridiculous. You also might soil yourself with laughter, so make sure you're prepared. Right. So what we're going to do anyway, back on this, where it says it cannot find a system image, well, guess what? We're going to hit cancel, and then you're presented with this. So select a system image, and we're going to hit advanced, and this is where it's hilarious. It allows you to install a driver. Well, this is stupid because we're not installing a driver. All right. You hit OK. For the fact this is possible, it's just completely stupid. So you go down to this PC. There's our Windows OS. All right. So ours, this is what I mean. So you've got some boot expedition, that's to do with Lenovo. You've got Lenovo recovery in D. Well, we need the C drive. So I'm going to double click it. There's Windows, and we're going to go down to System 32, which is here. Right. Now we need to rename utilman first. So on the keyboard, I'm going to type util. It's somewhere down here. It will be an executable, so it will look like one of those windows, and there it is, there's utilman. You see it? And unbelievably, what we can do is right click it and rename it. This is stupid. Shouldn't be doable. And then we're going to name it as utilman1 and hit enter. Now what we'll do is scroll all the way up to CMD, which we're looking for a black logo. Which is that one. Left click it to highlight it, right click, and then rename it. And then we're going to call that one utilman. This is stupid, to be honest with you. It's hilarious. And then you're going to hit enter. And it should have done it. Just make sure, double check. So we rename it, call it utilman, and it should throw the error and say it can't. That's it. So it could not find the file, so that's done. Now what we're going to do is come out of this, so we'll just hit cancel, and clear that off. And then we're going to turn the computer off. It's completely stupid, this. You won't believe it. It'll go right over your head. And as we said, we're only using a keyboard and mouse. So what we do is turn this back on. And there it is. And it should just boot normally now. Now, some of this I end up with a problem because I can't really remember some of the commands, I think. I'm doing this off by heart. But if I do run into something with it. I might have to pause, but we'll see. So we hit that, and now we're granted with our password screen, so it's incorrect, so we can't get in. But there's our narrator. Click that and look what's appeared. Oh dear, that shouldn't be happening, because there's our command prompt, and if you look up here, it's named. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Let's try and show you that. So unplug it from the power first, obviously. It's named up there as utilman. That definitely should not be happening. But it does. Now this gives us basically full command. So we can maximise that if we want. But we don't need to, we're just going to keep it there. I think you can get the point. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say net users, and it tells me exactly who's on there. And there's admin and guest. So yeah, right. Let's just double check that. And yeah, that's the admin one that we're going to need to bust the password for. So it will be users. I think it's admin. No, hang on. I did say we might end up with a problem with this, but is it net users? It might be user admin. Net users. I can't remember what this was off by heart. Let's try. In fact, hang on a minute. I'm just going to go onto my hacker's phone, because I'm sure I remember how I did this actually. I can't remember. There was something I did. I'm just going to have a look and see if I can remember it, which is awkward. Let's try net user. And it was, yeah, okay, well it was admin. And then it might have been star. Let's try that. Ha! Yeah, that's it. And now, unbelievably, type a password for the user. I'm not going to. So we'll just do that. And now we exit this. And I should be able to log in. Which is unbelievable. Let's try it. And there you are. That's bypassed it completely. That's shocking, isn't it? Can you believe that? That's how it's done that. And there you are, I'm completely in. There's everything there. And you can still use the computer as you want. Now, we end up with a problem here though, because certain things that won't work now. And trying to run our command prompt also doesn't work. So we now need to fix that, and I'm going to show you how. So what we'll do is we'll power the machine off. Yeah, it's throwing errors. So we'll shut this down. It this is what I mean. We need to put everything back now. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier on, but now we need to rename it again. So we've got to go back to the start again. So let's get this powered up. We'll throw the error again. This might take a couple of goes on this one. Rather awkward. Is it going? That's it. Press and hold it while that spinny logo's there. Now we should have thrown the error. It should have. Let's try it. Prepare automatic repair, so it's thrown the error now. Now, as we said, oh shit, nearly kicked tripod over again. That would have been good. Now what we need to do is we need to go back in now and rename utilman first. So utilman 1 now needs to become utilman, and then then we have to do a CMD. No, so it's utilman first becomes CMD, then you rename utilman. So if I've got this wrong earlier on, then it's, you'll see anyway. You'll see how this is done. It's brilliant. So we just wait for this to do. So it's diagnosing. Well, I've diagnosed it. It's running Windows. And the fix is, well, we uninstall that. Unfortunately, I need one of these running Windows, but I suppose I can dual boot. Come on, hurry up. Hurry up. Of course, it's now going to have problems because I've renamed those two files, haven't I? Right, so as always, let's zoom in a bit for you. There's our advanced options. Go into Troubleshoot, hit the advanced and system image recovery. You know the procedure now. Hit cancel, hit next, click advanced, install driver, hit OK. This PC, if you can see that right, local disk, Windows, System 32. That's it. And now we've got to go and find utilman. So let's zoom in for you so you can see that. As we now go and search for it. Like I said, this is completely crazy how this is even able to be done. Yeah, shocking. Let's see, so where are you? Thought nearly gone past it. There it is. Those are our two files. This one here, we now need to rename that and put it back as CMD. It's command. Don't need to do anything else, you just change that. And then this one, I'm going to rename that just by taking away the 1. That's it, that's all you're doing. And then hit enter. Now what you do is you rename it, try to rename it again. Don't think it will. So let's try it again. Nope. So that one's okay, and then we'll try this one. So rename that, take away the 1. Nope, so it's done it. Now as always, what we do is we close that window, hit cancel, click that off, turn off, and then we do our final start back up, and then we can check that everything's running. So let's turn it back on again. This should boot normally now, and we won't need a password because that's got rid of it. There's our spinny. So there you are. Let that swivel for a bit. It's definitely swiveling around, isn't it? There you are, admin, and I'm logged in. No password. So that was method number 2 then, weren't it? Oh dear, that's naughty. Shouldn't be able to do that, should we? That's naughty, that. And there we are. Right. Now we need to verify this CMD thing. So we go down here and we try and find it. Type CMD. Command prompt. Does it load it? It sure does. Type CMD. And it's working. So we've put that back. There you are. CMD, that's fine. And you can say clear that, and I'm not sure what running utilman here would do. Yeah, there's
always scan this section.
Oh, yeah, it does work. That's the utility manager for your narrator. There you are. See, that's working. So yeah, nothing's broken. How good is that? Exit that and exit that. Exit. There you are. Shocking. So that completely works. And we'll just do a restart anyway. Power restart. That's shocking. That shouldn't be able to be done. Completely shocking, that. Unbelievable, isn't it? That Windows 10 would even allow that to happen. That's shocking. And that's the reason why I don't really like to use wanky Windows. Bit crap. That is a monumental fail, in my opinion. And I think I've even got a third way on how to hack a password as well. Unbelievably, there's more than 4 ways. Well, I've discovered 5, I think, but we'll have a look at that. So, yep, there we are, password gone. Now, if we want to, we can put our own password on there, so we can just say password. Where is it? Change your password. Well, it'll tell us to add one, really. And then you must add one before you can continue. So now we can put whatever we want on there. So we'll just do something like that. Something like that. Something like that. Oh no, that probably won't allow it. Yeah, it can't contain your password. Just have it as wacky bants. Yeah, alright, whatever. I was meant to press an S, not Z. But fine. There we are. So you can even create your own password back on it. And then I suppose if I want to, I can just remove it again doing what we just did. So it's hilarious, isn't it? And yeah, we'll shut that down because I think we've had enough of that. What a load of old codsy that was then. So much for Windows being secure. Right, let's close out. You got to laugh, ain't you? That was pretty stupid, weren't it? Can you believe that Windows 10 even allows that? That's shocking. Yeah, there you are. I can't even believe that that's a thing, to be honest with you. Hilarious. And I've actually busted my tripod here. Can you hear that? I think that's had it. I'm hoping this thing ain't going to fall over, but it definitely looks like it's on the piss. Unlike me for a change. No beer tonight. Shocking that, innit? But mind you, I had quite a rough night last night, didn't I? Didn't go to bed until 4:30. Naughty. Anyway, like we said, that shouldn't be allowed to happen. It did. That's basically how it was done. I have been me, as you are you. Keep it legal, people. Keep it legal. And I'll see you in another one. Well, you'll see me more than likely. I won't see you. You'll see me in the next one. And we might work on method number 3 on how to bust passwords on this stuff. Fucking unbelievable, innit? Unbelievable.